Time for a revolution in love as Venus, the planet of connection and attraction, squares Uranus, the planet of change, sudden transformation, and revolution on Sunday, March 3rd. Prepare for fast developments, life-altering encounters, and unique revelations. Let's take a closer look and break it down for all 12 signs. My name is Anastasia. I'm a traditional Western astrologer specializing in natal, relationship, and predictive readings. If you enjoy my content, please take a moment to support me by leaving a like or a comment, subscribing, and pressing the notification bell. All of that helps my channel grow, encourages YouTube algorithm to show my content to more people. You also have the option of saying thank you by buying me a coffee. I really appreciate that. Before we dive in, if you'd like to work with me, if you have any big questions you need astrological assistance with, do not hesitate to book a reading with me on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. On my website, you can also find a variety of products I create with love, attention, and care, such as my 2024 Astrology Planner. It contains 225 pages filled with insights about astrology, transit information, lunar guides, journaling prompts, so much more to help you maximize the year to come. And it is currently discounted. You can find the discount code in the description below. On my website, you can also find my magical candles and oils. For example, this is Venus in Libra 2. It is decorated with gemstones and smells like honeysuckle jasmine to help align the candle to the nature of Venus. This candle takes advantage of the powerful Venus in Libra, capturing her energy and carrying within the power to create balance, harmony, and relationship accord in your life. It is a perfect remediation for anyone born with their Venus in a compromised position such as Aries, Scorpio, or Virgo. Anyone who has their Venus in a dark house, 6th, 8th, or 12th. And if your Venus is making any difficult aspects, for example, a square to Mars, conjunction, square, opposition to Saturn, aspects to Uranus, Pluto, or even Neptune, this could be a great remedy for you. Check out my website for that. On my website, you can also find Venus in Libra, the one from 2022, and this one has similar properties, but it's scented like a rose. It has a rose scent. So check that out. And let's take a look. Let's talk about this upcoming energy, the upcoming transit. First of all, Venus is the planet of connection. Venus glues everyone together. She helps us manifest the things we desire. She's all about pulling things in and connecting people and things, relationships. Uranus is the planet of rebellion. It tends to shake things up. It tends to transform things. It tends to release, let go of anything that is outdated, anything that no longer serves us. So when Venus and Uranus meet up, there is multiple possibilities, and a lot of these changes that are brought by Uranus, these surprises, will affect your relationships. They will affect things you desire or things you thought you desired, right? And the two are meeting in a square, which tends to be a more difficult aspect, which can create a little bit more friction in our life. I think if your relationship is strong and it's kind of has a good foundation underneath it, you may encounter a difficult situation or you may discover something about your partner, but you will have the power to grow through it and to transform through it. It doesn't have to be the bomb that destroys your relationship, right? Just like a little small firework or something like that. So this transit happens on Sunday, March 3rd, early in the morning, 8:17 a.m. As you already know, transits take some time to build. So we start to feel it on Thursday, February 29th, and then it lasts until approximately Tuesday, March 5th. So it has about a week total. And the transit happens at 19 degrees, 39 minutes of Aquarius and Taurus, because Venus is currently in Aquarius, Uranus is in Taurus. So you may expect to feel it the strongest if you have planets between 16 and 22 degrees fixed signs, which is Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio. So in those cases, you can expect that the most. And some of the things to watch out for are relationship tests. tests, right? Like Uranus could be like a light bulb going off in your head, a light bulb going off in your relationship, something that you haven't seen gets brought up. And it's shocking, it's surprising, it's disruptive. It could be maybe positive. Maybe you find out that your partner has been saving a lot of money and now you can go on the vacation of your dreams, right? Or it could be more negative. It could be your partner telling you that they have spent a bunch of money, or that they have kind of, I don't know, something about their past that is challenging for you to accept initially. But of course, through those tests, you have the power to bring forth true authenticity and connect truly and honestly with the person that you are in a relationship with. So there is true potential for like unique revelations, right? And eye-opening conversations and deeper understanding, more truth. Square to Uranus can also bring opportunity for sexual exploration, for open-mindedness, right? Being more open-minded sexually and romantically, dating someone who is quite Uranian, someone who is maybe out of your comfort zone or someone you wouldn't normally go for. So being more open-minded, being more, I think, adventurous socially too, doing things that you wouldn't normally do. Maybe you go, maybe you take a dance class and you've always felt self-conscious. So kind of experimenting, doing new things. And I think I like looking at these transits from the perspective of how can we be more proactive versus letting them hit us over the head, hit us on the head, right? You can always initiate change. If you are scared of what might happen, go to something uncomfortable, do something fun, experiment in the bedroom or experiment creatively. That's another possibility here with Venus and a square to Uranus. You may find yourself drawn to things that are different. So out of that can come out beautiful kind of creative breakthroughs and romantic breakthroughs and social breakthroughs and even business or sort of breakthroughs in sales, right? Like you decide to take a picture of your jacket from inside, from the inside, and then that draws a lot of views, a lot of sort of attraction and bigger sales. So nothing to be scared about. Just be careful, I guess. Watch out for creating drama just because you feel a pull for something. Sorry, stifling a yawn. So just because you're feeling restless, try to make sure that you're not trying to do not create drama just out of feeling restless, right? And let's take a close look at all 12 signs and give you some tips on what this might be about. Once again, if you want to know more, if you want to become my monthly subscriber, check out my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com, book your reading or pick up a horoscope subscription. So if you are an Aries rising, Venus is currently in your 11th house. She will square Uranus in your 2nd house. This could suggest relationship tests, especially in friendships. They could be connected to financial matters where one of your friends or multiple friends owe you money, or you feel like they've been kind of taking advantage of your kindness, maybe of your ability to handle a lot. It's like, kind of a group project at a university where one student does most of the work and then they feel like they've had enough and they sort of storm out of the classroom. So friendship tests, conflicts surrounding money and values are likely at this time. 11th house also is the place of your dreams and your aspirations and your role in the collective. So when there is a square to the 2nd house, you may be realizing how your resources, your knowledge, your kind of personality and what you can add to the equation, or maybe which resources you do not have. So there might be a little bit of tension and a need to adjust, a need to adapt based on the realizations you're having about resources you have available. And maybe those resources are also connected to people, right? How many people you know, how many connections you have, how can you use the resources available in a way that is constructive, and also how can you surround yourself with people that are supportive of you versus maybe draining your energy. Next, we have a Taurus rising. If you are a Taurus rising, Venus in Aquarius is in your 10th house, will square Uranus in the 1st house. So here we're looking at how your professional life and how your social image aligns or does not align with your inner desire for change. Because with Uranus in the first house, Uranus has been in your first house for a while, right? I think since 2019, maybe even early 2018. You are transforming, you are becoming more independent, you're becoming more authentic, you are Uranian, you're bringing change into the world, right? So when Venus in the 10th house squares that Uranus, there is perhaps some kind of conflict and tension in the workplace where your rebellious nature rubs people the wrong way. So you know, you may have to deal with some kind of conflicts with bosses, some kind of professional drama, surprises that affect your career. Uranus in the first house could also be like an offer to start your own yoga studio, and then you have to deal with the fallback and figure out how you can either let go of your job or do both, and how can your life will change as a result. 10th house also sometimes connects to your marriage, relationship, or sort of, you know, kind of public status, what you're known for. If you're not working, if you don't have a career, this could be about your role, what people kind of see you doing when you step outside of your home. And any kind of changes in there are possible too. And maybe a little bit, like I said, a little bit of difficulty because it's a square aspect as you try to figure out how to better be the best version of yourself. If you are a Gemini rising, Venus in your 9th house will square Uranus in the 12th house. And to me, this feels like the very strong need to reevaluate your beliefs, because 9th house is the place of philosophy, it's the place of faith and your morals and your standards. And when Uranus in the 12th house is squaring that, there might be certain things outside of your control. There might be certain, you know, kind of self-defeating tendencies that you are becoming more clear on, or literally like other people acting in some kind of ways, like, you know, a friend tells you that they don't like a thing that you do, or a friend tells you that they are going through something, and you're getting a chance to rethink how you approach things. And so there could be a lot of kind of like deep realizations about what you believe in and how you present yourself in the world, and how maybe your morals affect your relationships with other people. Very much like opportunity to learn something new about yourself. There could also be shakeups connected to travel, connected to education, visas, legal matters, writing, publishing, and an invitation to trust that the universe has your back, and perhaps try to be more adaptable as you move through the difficult situation. Next, we have Cancer rising. If you are a Cancer rising, Venus currently in your 8th house will square Uranus in your 11th house. Venus in the 8th wants financial harmony. She wants you to collaborate with other people. She wants you to maybe start new partnerships, financial partnerships or business partnerships. Even social relationships can be affected here. And the square to Uranus in the 11th could bring, so your friend might be a source of disruption if we are talking about partnerships and connections. There may be some kind of disagreement you're having with a friend or a colleague or a classmate, someone who's in your social circle. There might also be disagreements about the vision you have for the project, or the vision you have for the future, the vision you even have for the collective. There could be financial matters that need to be addressed as you are either working towards a dream or you're trying to join forces with another person. So having to navigate a bit more difficult questions connected to resources, connected to friendships, connected to goals, hopes, and wishes and dreams is quite likely here. And you have emotional maturity to figure it out. I believe in you, Cancer rising. Now, if you are a Leo rising, Venus in your 7th house will square Uranus in the 10th house. And this reads as developments and a need for change in relationships in response to surprises and revelations and sudden transformations in your career. as well as your public life, as well as your reputation. So professionally, of course, there could be a desire for change with Uranus in the 10th house. You can be sort of on edge, restless, ready for change, ready to push forward and reinvent yourself. So watch out for kind of like knee-jerk type actions, quitting your job if you don't have any backup and you really need the money. So try to be kind of mindful and not rush as much as you can. There may also be developments that I think push you closer with your partner, or even push you towards starting a business, right? Uranus in the 10th could be a realization that all of your colleagues are making more money, or that somebody else got promoted over you. So Venus in the 7th house in a square to Uranus could suggest, like I said, either talking to your partner, building a stronger relationship, embracing vulnerability, or figuring out ways to have perhaps like a different source of stability, income, and support in your life. And please let me know how this resonates down below. Next, we have the lovely Virgo rising. If you are a Virgo rising, Venus in your 6th house will square Uranus in the 9th house. And here your everyday life, your diet, your exercise, your routines are changing in response to new developments, revelations, transformations, surprises in the house of education, travel, legal matters, writing, and publishing. So it could be exciting, right? There might be like a book deal, or there might be a chance to speak about something you're really passionate about, to educate people, educate your community on something. And as a result, some of your life will transform, the way you do things will transform. It might, it may feel like uncomfortable, I think. Even if the possibility and opportunity is exciting, you now need to figure out how to handle your workload, how to transform your life, how to deal with your work relationships. And so it creates an element of friction, but I think it could also be quite eye-opening in terms of venturing in a brand new territory and exploring new paths. Maybe becoming an educator, and maybe starting to travel more, maybe becoming a writer, a lawyer, or like a defense attorney, or somebody who like I said, speaks on behalf and shares their important point of view. If you are a Libra rising, Venus in your 5th house will square Uranus in the 8th house. And here you're looking at a need to adapt and change in the sector of love, parenthood, and pleasure in response to sudden developments, transformations that are happening in the house of debts, loans, taxes, your partner's money, and partner's resources. So let's talk about a few possibilities, right? Uranus in the 8th could suggest that you have a big tax bill. Who has a big tax bill? I have a big tax bill. So it's funny because I've been talking as a Libra rising, I've been talking about Jupiter in the 8th house as bringing a lot of blessings, but 8th house is also the place of taxes. And so if you have had some blessings, a lot of times you have to pay taxes on it, right? So Uranus in the 8th could suggest that there is some kind of payment you need to make, that there is a debt you need to pay off, that there is a bill you forgot about. So it could be frustrating. And then as a result, because it affects Venus in the 5th house of pleasure, you have to temporarily postpone some pleasure. You have to think more strategically. If you are, kind of paying a lot in taxes this year, then maybe you need to figure out how you can save more, and saving more means that you will have less money available, whatever it might be. So that kind of questions that will demand attention. There can also be sexual breakthroughs and sexual healing. Venus is in your 5th house. You realize something about your past, about your relationship with Uranus in the 8th house. Your partner's finances may be changing. Maybe they they quit their job, and now that is affecting your relationship and your sense of pleasure. Perhaps they get a pay raise and it's a positive change. So I wish all of you a happy and positive change. And please let me know how this resonates. How has Jupiter in the 8th house been? Are you feeling the blessings, or are you feeling the higher taxes like I am? Next, we have Scorpio rising. If you are a Scorpio rising, Venus in your 4th house will square Uranus in the 7th. And here you're needing to adjust your kind of change and transform and improve your family life, your relationship with family, your living situation in response to what's happening in your house of relationships. So Uranus in the 7th house can suggest that your partner's life is transforming. They're getting a new job offer. You have to move suddenly, right? Maybe they are going through a difficult time with their living situation, and so you invite them to move in with you. Definitely like a need to be adaptable in terms of your relationship with family, in terms of your romantic relationship, and more open to what's coming, more open to the changes that might be coming your way. There might also be, I think, quite positive opportunities. So like even if it is in the moment feeling a little bit shaky and your relationships are feeling a little bit shaky and your living situation is feeling shaky, trust that you will figure it out, right? And try to learn to agree and be honest and be connected with people around you instead of sort of rebelling and rushing away and being like, nobody understands me. Because chances are, if you try to explain yourself, they might understand you. If you are a Sagittarius rising, Venus in your 3rd house will square Uranus in the 6th house. And here you're looking at the change in communication, change in schedule, short trips that you may need to take, connections with siblings, neighbors transforming as a result of changes related to health, work, service, even your pets potentially. Uranus in the 6th house can bring like surprises around health, around work. Something happens at work where you have to cancel your trip and you have to go to work, or you cannot go see your sibling because there's your partner has gotten a cold and now you need sort of help take care of them, or your dog is not feeling well and your schedule is changing. So I think here there's like an invitation to be flexible and open to adjusting and sort of changing and transforming your schedule. Try not to be like really rigid. And if it is connected to health, if you are realizing that you have a bad habit that is not really serving you, then try to figure out how you can change your everyday life. What kind of better structures, what kind of better habits, what kind of, even if that means getting a bicycle instead of taking a 5-minute car ride to work, now you can bike to work. So there could be a great possibility for change there. If you are a Capricorn rising, Venus in your 2nd house will square Uranus in the 5th house. And here you're looking at your resources, at your plans connected to money in response to changes and transformations in the house of romance, pleasure, and children. So Uranus in the 5th house could be sudden development, like a pregnancy. It could also be a creative breakthrough, like a new creative project coming your way. It could also be a sudden realization around pleasure, and pleasure is different for different people. For someone, it might be, I want to live by the beach. For somebody else, it would be, I no longer want to work, right? So, and then Venus in the 2nd house is suggesting that maybe you are needing to figure out how to spend your money, you're needing to rethink your resources, you're needing sort of to move things around, maybe brainstorm new ways of supporting yourself or supporting your loved ones. And if we are talking about pregnancy, right, and replace pregnancy with whatever it is for you, because not every single Capricorn rising is getting pregnant right now. But if you are talking about like pregnancy or a creative project or a child, whatever it might be that is occupying your thoughts, or that is the cause of some kind of maybe stress and tension and upgrades in your life, you are going through, you will definitely need to figure out how to spend money differently, right? You're going to figure out maybe how to make money through things that you enjoy more, and how to spend money, or I think money is important here, but also just what is valuable to you. Whatever changes are happening in your life, whatever things are not feeling as stable, there is an invitation there to be honest with what you truly value, and then spend your resources accordingly, in accord with that. And let me know how this resonates. Next, we have Aquarius rising. If you are an Aquarius rising, Venus in your 1st house will square Uranus in your 4th house. So Venus in the first is all about you wanting to be a peacemaker, you not wanting to have any drama. Of course, Mars is there also, so you have both the energy and the courage, but you also try to be a peacemaker. And Uranus in the fourth house can create like shakeups, disruptions, transformations, revolution in your house of home, family, and living situation. Something maybe is feeling difficult for you, something is feeling uncomfortable for you in the home. And so here you are needing to address the challenges that are happening in the home. You're needing to address the difficult family dynamic, even like difficult situations with neighbors and roommates and partners, and do so, I think, in a peaceful way, but still not sacrificing your integrity and your desires. So very much an opportunity to invite change and to try sort of to be proactive and to be gentle and kind, but not fearful of change and sort of not fearful to speak up. Uranus in the fourth can bring surprising development, right? Like suddenly you need to renovate one of your bathrooms and you have to share a bathroom with somebody else, or your family member moves in or a family member moves out, and so the way you see yourself is changing and there is a need to be more adaptable and more flexible. And please let me know, how have things in your home and living situation been with Uranus being in your fourth house? But so is Jupiter. Jupiter is also there helping things, most likely. Next, we have the beautiful Pisces rising. If you are a Pisces rising, Venus in your 12th house is squaring Uranus in your 3rd house, which is suggesting that there is some kind of friction in communication. There could be some kind of surprises in your routines, surprises even in your job, like some kind of document you forget, some kind of, like little things. 3rd house is your everyday life, the car that you drive, the coffee shop you go to, the music you listen to, the way you sort of handle paperwork at work. And so Uranus can bring a disruption there. Suddenly you get into a huge traffic jam, or you forget to submit a paper that was important. And Venus in the 12th in a square to Uranus in the 3rd potentially will reveal your self-defeating tendencies and how you handle the frustration, and how perhaps you should be better at like talking to yourself, at being kind with yourself when things don't go according to plan. So approach any disruption in your routine, any travel delays, any miscommunications or conflicts with siblings and neighbors through the lens of kindness and empathy and sensitivity, which you are a master of as a water rising sign, and try to make sure that you're keeping a good balance and staying kind of kind to yourself most and foremost, because if you understand yourself, you can be better at understanding and accepting others too. So this is it. Thank you for listening. I hope Venus in a square to Uranus doesn't bring you anything negative. Luckily, it's only a week-long transit, right? It's not like super huge, but of course we are moving towards the eclipse season, and we're gonna have a lunar eclipse in Libra, Venus-ruled sign, so Venus will continue to dominate our minds, and surprises that we encounter right now can continue to be quite important later. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.